Oh, oh yeah.
I know a lot of you love to talk about one day wanting a sleeve, and this is what this is all about. Hello everyone, it's Adam. We're at Fine Line Willy, and it's tattoo time. I'm pretty stoked about Collette's tattoos. They're illustrations of flowers, and some flowers are her favorites, some represent family members, but I think it's really, really beautiful. Now, it's been a year since I've last seen her. I get so excited when clients come back to continue, and Colette's calling this a half sleeve so far. She wants to build a sleeve. So I definitely want to talk about that today later in word time. You know, I love language, so let's get into sleeves and tattoo growth. That'll be the topic of the day. And on that same subject, I also wanted to show you some plants at Fine Line Willy, so I'm going to give you a little plant tour. So let's dive in. You get to see my saran wrap method on Collette, and this really works for gap fillers, but really it helps me visualize shapes. And I really, really love the way that these flowers that she came in with this time to tattoo, the way that they work together was really aesthetic. So I just love the way the tattoo came out. So let's get into the video. On this beautiful day, my landlord messaged me to let me know that there'd be men coming in to power wash the building. Well, they power washed my desk a little bit too. I started with Collette using the saran wrap method. So I loved using this, especially during gap filler sessions, and this was kind of like that. We wanted to keep each flower in its own little space, almost like they're taped into a journal for drying. And styles like this remind me of my favorite botanical scientific illustrations, and because of that, I use photographs as my reference. Once my saran wrap map is laid flat, I have my shapes ready. I find florals that fit those shapes and match what I'm imagining, and then I create the line work for my stencils. I've done this for all of Colette's previous tattoos, and I love the way it came out. By the way, if you're not following me on Instagram yet, you can go ahead and take a moment to do that. I post there all the time, and here on YouTube, I make videos every Tuesday. So if you haven't subscribed yet, you can do that as well. Alrighty, let's show Collette what I've got and see what she says. I want to show you what I've drawn up. This is what I have.
Oh, beautiful.
So basically my interpretation of the wisteria here was like, well, I looked at the photos obviously, and they have like bigger, almost like when they're bloomy, and then they have the other petals are more like scrunchy.
Yes.
And then I added their leaves just a little bit. I didn't draw that there, but
No, that's
I added
good. That's
those.
great.
And size-wise, yeah, we're like right in the realm.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm just gonna make these into stencils, and then we'd like to try them on.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Tattooing for me feels like doing a play. I've written the play, I've rehearsed it, and now it's time to perform. I find the peeling of the stencil so satisfying. But honestly, I don't always get it perfect, so can't really predict how it's gonna lay on skin. So sometimes I tend to erase a little bit and use a single-use skin marker, and then I perfect any of those details by hand. And I love when my clients let me do little things like that, because ultimately their body is not a piece of paper. So here I am erasing some of the stencil because it didn't go perfectly in that spot. And then I'm going to use my pen to make it more perfect. Thank you as always for trusting your tattoo artists to do things freehand. It's really satisfying for us. And I feel like it really makes the tattoo so much better because it is on a canvas that moves around, and I can only get that perfect in the moment on the skin.
I agree. Oh yeah.
See how it's moving. See how
and it
see
leaves
the homework spot in the back.
Yeah, and it leaves for like you said, homework room. That's perfect.
Yeah, that.
Oh, I love
Oh,
that.
I love the way that's moving.
That's like my favorite part about Piranha 2. That's so nice.
Let's do a word time. So some of you know I really love language. I moved here from Poland when I was 13, so I learned English as a second language. And really, in adulthood, I learned so much about distinctions and how words can open up a whole world. I even have a hand tattoo dedicated to words that are distinctions that are very important to me. I like to, in my videos, bring light to certain words and get into some conversations, but do it in a tattoo-y way. So for today's word time, I wanted to talk about sleeves and growth. So let's get into it, because I know a lot of you love to talk about one day wanting a sleeve, and this is what this is all about. I find that sleeve is a creation. It is a distinction. It's something that people have started saying in the tattoo industry, and clients started using the word, and now everybody's saying sleeve. There's people walking around who don't think they have a sleeve. They're building their sleeve, and to someone else looking at their arms, it looks like sleeves. There's people who will consider a tattoo that has no negative space and no room for anything else a sleeve, and anything out of that is not a sleeve. Listen, it's just a word. It's just tattoos on an arm. You have an arm, then you have a sleeve. If you have an arm with tattoos, you have a sleeve. I mean, like, that's just how I look at it. For me, my tattoos are patchwork, so they're just happening. I have an intention to get a tattoo in every year that I'm alive, so I don't want to get filled up too much. I like that my tattoos have memories behind them. I like that I don't know what's one day going to be on my body, and that I'm enjoying them like a collection, and I'm collecting and I'm enjoying. People would say that I have sleeves. I've been told before that I have sleeves by other people. So it's really just this funny word. Really, it's such a growth process to have tattoos anyway. So of course you have plans. You plan to have a sleeve, or you dream of a sleeve, but you're gonna start with one tattoo, or maybe because you dream a sleeve, you're gonna get a leg tattoo instead. I'm here to tell you that it just kind of happens piece by piece. Of course, there are instances where you can go in and get an entire arm done and it's a sleeve, done. Or you go in, you create a project, and you come in over the course of the next 2 years and you're working on your sleeve. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with using the word sleeve. I'm kind of just shining a light on that it is just a word and that it's a creation. I just invite you to be open to the idea of growing inside of your tattoos, of having growth. That word just fits for me, you know? It is kind of a growth thing. Sometimes people start out with one idea, and then as time goes on, it morphs into something else. Or for example, now we're seeing a lot of people who did have sleeves in the early 2000s now are getting a lot of blackout tattoos. So I really don't believe in tattoos being extremely permanent. I find that their permanence is scientific in terms of how the ink stays in the skin. And I believe there's so many things you can do with cover work, layering, blast overs, cover ups, even wearing different clothes. Over time, your tattoos do morph because you will morph. And so let them grow. Don't be so attached to the word sleeve. And thanks for listening to my word time. I really appreciate it. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, please let me know in the comments. If you like these videos, please comment, like, and subscribe. It'll help me out. Before we get back to Collette and see how my tattoos on her came out, let me show you the plants in the studio. Come on. This guy actually lives right about here. That one definitely needs something. I'm not sure. This little aloe has a little crocheted boobies. Here she is, a sculpted head by me. In 2022, Tommy and I sculpted these things we called pot heads, and there's a bunch of them here as well. Who knows, maybe we'll make more pottery in the future. Like, it is definitely a passion of ours. Here's a pothead that Tommy made. It's a reference from the Eye of the Beholder episode of The Twilight Zone. Very niche. Here's my plant window. This plant actually might need to be replaced or changed. It's been in there for like 3 years. So there's probably a lot of roots in here. Here's a pothead with the cutest cactus that sometimes blooms flowers. Really, really, really cute. Here's another pothead by Tommy. Love Miss Barbie here. And my oldest plant, it's been in my family since the early 2000s. So I love plants, I love growth. Thanks for taking a look. All right, let's see how my tattoos came out. The pen smudges so much that I'm just washing it off before I start.
Gotcha.
Otherwise you will be purple. Ready?
Yes. Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Some artists are really meticulous with their stencil, but for me, I like to erase parts of it so I can better see the lines I'm pulling as I go. We all have our own techniques. I've practiced the line work enough to feel confident where I'm putting it. So if the stencil smudges or disappears in one spot, I know I'm good. I can finish the tattoo without worry. They feel like they were always there.
Yeah.
Like, this is so crazy. I love this so much.
Sense.
They just make sense.
I know, but I feel like a lot of people probably won't like even notice it until they're like, wait a second.
Wait a second, you got more. Yep.
Like, yup.
Here we go. Ready?
Yes.
All right, let's finish up the line work. And then I'm gonna spray some Bactine on Collette. That goes into the lines and numbs them a little. And then I'm going to do some detailing.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's perfect. It just makes me want to get the whole arm done.
I absolutely love how it's looking. The little flowers taped to a piece of paper, except it's skin. Seriously, thanks for wearing them so beautifully, Collette. I love how your sleeve is growing on you. And here's a look at the healed work from a year ago, and a look at the growing half sleeve. I love it! It's kind of begging for more. There's definitely spots for more. Alrighty, everyone. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Again, if you liked this video, please give me a like, comment, subscribe, and if you're looking for a tattoo, my proposals are open on my website, finelinewilly.com. Maybe you're in the Long Island area or New York, or maybe you just checked your GPS to see how far it is to Sound Beach and it's a reasonable drive. People come to me from out of state a lot, so I'm just throwing that out there. I'm here if you want to work with me. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye! I need to water some of these plants.